Enjoy my videos and want to support my channel even more? Consider supporting me through the use of Patreon, allowing you access to cool rewards. What is up, YouTube? It is me, NexGenSlayer, and we are doing some Austrian Pinnacles here today on Napoleon Total War. My opponent is Fernando Vidal. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I really don't care. So let's get to it. Okay, so in this battle I was commanding the Russian force and my opponent was commanding the French. I believe I have 2 mounted rifles, 2 Crozak Cal, which are basically just lancers. I have 2 Jaegers on this side. One's a specialist Jaeger, which is slightly better than the normal Jaeger unit here. They're basically like skirmishers or light infantry. On this side I also have another Jaeger unit. I have 1 12-pounder foot artillery. Then over here I have a 6-pounder. I also have 1 lifeguard foot, which are elites, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 musketeers, or 7 musketeers and 1 grenadier, my bad. I also have a normal general staff. My opponent, let's take a look at his. While he starts to move up, he has, I believe, 6 young guards, and over here he has 1 old guard, and then 3 Polish legions. He also has a 12-pounder foot artillery, and then I believe he has 1 general staff over here. Let's find his other old guard. He's going to be moving up the mountain, as we both will. He has another 12-pounder over here, another young guard, and here's his other old guard. So yeah, he actually has, I believe, 3 artillery units, which is a little bit overkill, but there's no limitations. He had no rules really on this, except I think like 5 lights max or something like that, or maybe 3, I'm not sure. But yes, he's going to be moving up, as you can see, to try to take the middle of the field. Meanwhile, I'm going to be moving up some of my musketeer units to also try and take the middle. So as you can see, his troops are getting settled in over here. This is the middle of the field. He was able to make it up the mountain first before me. Meanwhile, my troops are still running up the mountain, and I'm gonna try and set them up just out of range of his soldiers, just because I don't want to get the first shots taken on me. That could be a slight advantage if that does happen, but we'll see. I'm going to try and overflank or overpower his middle center here, just because he only has 1 young guard or 2 young guards here, and over here he also has another young guard. It's just standing back, and another young guard and another young guard. So 4 young guards and 1 old guard moving up on his left flank. Over here on my left flank are my 2 cavalry units. As I promised, they moved up, and as you can see, he has his soldiers in a square formation just because he is awaiting my cavalry to attack. Basically, he just doesn't want my cavalry to attack him there, which is alright. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form yet. And he is able to move up his right flank, his Polish legion, before I can move up. And so instead of attacking them with my 1 musketeer unit, I'm going to try and overflank him, because as you can see right now, I was able to get my soldiers up to the main field, and he only has 1 young guard here in the forest, and I have 1 unit firing and another unit setting up. These 2 are over here just waiting for these soldiers to move up. As you can see, his artillery have unloaded, and now they're beginning to fire on my troops, but they're firing uphill, and those aren't howitzers, so I'm able to get a few shots off of his guys first because he's moving up and adjusting. So he's losing pretty bad here. As you can see, he's already lost about 60 of his soldiers, and he's getting shot by 2 of my units. And over here, we're just carrying out a small battle in the woods. My soldiers are handling these guys pretty well. It's about even though. And they're just getting demolished here. He doesn't bring up any troops to aid these soldiers, so they're pretty hard, pretty badass here, just holding it down. But the only reason they aren't running is because they're elites, so it's a lot harder to demoralize them, but that's okay. They're gonna charge my musketeers, which outnumber them by like 2 to 1. And as you can see over here, I have my musketeers and more musketeers. So his soldiers haven't moved up here, so I see no point in trying to attack them. So I have these soldiers here just in case they try to flank these guys and shoot them from behind. So I'm pretty well protected up the center right now. And finally his young guard does rout. Over here on my left flank, there's not much action going on just yet. He does have his Polish Legion here, and they're not really aiming at my guys yet. Eventually he'll take notice, probably. So yeah, let's just take a look. My musketeers are here. My grenadiers are right behind. They aren't doing anything yet, but I have them set up by accident and firing, and they're accidentally shooting my guys, so that's not very good. So I decide to do something about that as soon as I take notice, and I'm gonna send my grenadiers past these musketeers. It'll take me a minute to take notice though, because as you can see, these guys are now engaged with his Polish Legion. So yeah, but here, where are we? We're at the center. Here's my musketeers. They're getting shot up by my grenadiers and the front lines, so I'm doing a lot of friendly fire damage. But his young guard are pretty well depleted. We're just going to take a quick look. They're lining up in a straight line now, straight row, because there's so few of them. And they're not going to last too much longer, as you can probably tell. So my grenadiers are moving up, and I'm going to cease fire with my musketeers and move them back. My grenadiers are just marching, and they see these guys routing, and so instead of chasing after them, which I begin to do, I decide to aim them at this young guard, which I wasn't able to see earlier on. So we're just going to watch them throw this poop on them like monkeys. Yeah, this is exploding poop. And smartly he decided to make his soldiers form a square, which does a lot less damage, and as you can see, it only did killed like 5 or 10 of the guys, which isn't that much for a lot of those grenades. Over here on my left flank, he's gonna have his 10 or 12 pounder artillery unit right there. They aren't really guarded, so I'm gonna move up these soldiers, my light guard foot and my musketeers. And finally, he's decided to press the fight in the center, and so these men, musketeers, which we're supposed to protect, are getting shot up pretty bad. And his men are really fresh. These guys have been shot at quite a lot, as you can see. These musketeers don't have their fire at will on, so they're just going to stand here. I don't really notice that, which isn't good. And so my musketeers are going to engage in these guys in one-to-one combat. As you can see, that guy just like bitch slapped that guy. Nice. I like this. So his soldiers are right here waiting, and I'm not they're going to just keep on firing, I guess. As you can see, his musketeers, or his old guard I believe, is lining up to take some shots at my guys. But my guys are trying to push past, and they're taking some shots at this general staff. This general staff isn't doing much, so I'm gonna try and kill his general. I probably could have just ran and engaged them, but I was afraid that he might run away, so I figured I'd shoot at him. Was it worth the risk? I don't know what his old guard are doing now. They aren't really facing the right way. Looks like they're trying to help my guys out and shoot his general staff. So his general staff finally starts to run away, but then he just runs back so he can gain a little bit distance to charge my men, which is very brave and dumb at the same time. I don't know why. He probably could have just moved his general staff back, But yeah, they're gonna rout and die off pretty fast. Here is my musketeers. This is the ones that weren't firing. I do have them firing now. His young guard were able to rout my other musketeer unit. So this is a pretty bad battle that my musketeers are engaged in. But that's alright. We're gonna take a look over here at our left flank now. His cavalry are lining up, and as you can see, I just failed my cavalry just failed in an attempt to charge his musketeers, but it did give my men time to set up as musketeer units. And as you can see, one of his units are over there. So my horses are getting shot up by both sides, and he probably should get out of square formation because I'm not going to really charge him again. At least he could probably expect that. But yeah, my mounted rifles are taking quite a big beating, especially with this Polish Legion there. And they're gonna get demoralized and run away. So over here, I finally brought up my artillery. They aren't gonna do much this battle, I can tell you that much. And he has won the center. I can say that. My musketeers are trying to hold it down, but there's just too many of his soldiers. They don't really like fighting the young guard, so they're gonna run away. See. So now the battle's on my left flank, which is his right, and his soldiers are getting shot up pretty bad over here. My Jaeger unit's gonna come and help my other Jaeger unit. He does outnumber them because he's using his line. My Cossack Calv have not entered the battle yet, so they're fresh and ready to go whenever I choose to send them to attack. And yes, I do have my artillery set up here, but they aren't really going to do much. I don't even know what they're doing. Yeah, they're firing at these guys. It's not going to do much. So I see his soldiers are now charging my musketeers, so I'm going to turn them around so that they can face these guys. As you can see, it just becomes like a giant group gathering, and the morale bar is going to go back and forth and bounce back and forth. So let's just take a quick look at this close up. Pretty cool. His French are getting demoralized pretty bad here though, and he's going to run away with his old guard. They got pretty battered. And his Polish Legion here are facing off against two of my units, one on Jaeger and another Jaeger unit. So my Jaeger unit has a little bit of an angle on them. I have to shoot past these rocks right over here. So we'll just watch this. As you can see, the Young Guard have pretty cool uniforms. They're like, they look like bumblebees, to tell you the truth. And yeah, that guy just got shot in the balls. No more children for him. So this Polish Legion is taking quite a big beating, and they're going to run away. My troops are going to run after them though. Now, my Lifeguard foot has beaten back. As you can see, I routed his, I believe it was his Young Guard, or no, this is Polish Legion that charged over here. And so he has the center still, and he has box formation because I do have my Cossack Calv over here that we're going to charge, but I'm not sure if they did or didn't. Can't remember. As you can see, my musketeers are over here. They see his 12-foot artillery, and they are going to just march, and now they're gonna charge at him. So they're pretty depleted, so I figure there's not much for them to do except just go out with a big bang and try and take out some artillery that can be annoying. So as you can see, he's taking some clustered musket shots on my guys, which do a lot of damage. And my cavalry come up. They're the mounted rifles, and they get 6 guys over here. But they're gonna reload, and try and shoot at my cavalry. So my cavalry need to get the hell out of there. I do lose a little bit of cavalry because of his young guard over here. But that's alright. Over here, his old guard are going to set up, and it's going to be a little bit. He's going to take some shots off of my cavalry unit over here that I really don't take notice of and don't really care about too much. Okay, so back in the center, as you can see, his old guard are taking shots off at my cavalry, and they're getting a good bit of them. But my cavalry are going to charge, and basically they're going to form a square, but this is going to give my guys time to set up over here. I got my life guard foot ready to take on their depleted old guard, so this is going to be a good battle. As you can see, my Prozac Calv are retreating, and my life guard foot are going to take off some shots on his old guard, and his old guard aren't going to last too long, as you can probably tell. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to tell that. Look at them. Yeah, they're going to get demoralized pretty soon. I mean, I don't think I really spoiled anything there. And so his other old guard unit are going to, which aren't as depleted, are going to take off some shots on my life guard foot. So it's elites versus elites, and it's a pretty close battle. Could go either way. So as you can see, my guys are ready to go. These guys are just waiting to get their turns to fire. This guy's looking at this guy, checking him out. As you can see, they will fire. They have pretty awesome mustaches. And so my soldiers are going to reform over here, this musketeer unit. They're going to get ready to fire and shoot at his old guard. But my life guard foot does get demoralized for some reason. I mean, there's 53 of them and only 35 of these old guards, so I don't know what they were thinking. Over here is another young guard unit. This is also the fight for the center, and one of his last stands. His young guard are going to take some shots off on my depleted musketeers. Right now they're even in numbers, 69 to 69, so it's basically whoever gets the next shots off will be able to take it. But I decided to retreat. I don't want to risk it. I want to wait till I have some reinforcements, which are my Jaeger units over here. As you can see, his artillery are still standing, and so in order to take them out, I decided to move up some Jaeger units, which are getting picked off a little bit, and they're just marching here. Really what they should be doing is charging, but they aren't. They're just gonna walk. Take the walk to death. So, yeah. Over here, my mounted rifles are going to charge his other artillery. Basically, he doesn't have much of a chance here. You can look at the bar. Red is him, so it looks like he's winning for whatever reason. Kind of glitched out there. But I'm gonna charge my Prozac Calv after his young guard, which aren't set up in a square, so that's gonna hurt him pretty bad. This is gonna be the end of the battle here. As you can see, I have charged his other artillery. So I'd like to say good game to you, Fernando. It was good. He was a good opponent, and I don't know why I said that. Obviously, you can tell I probably won this battle. So, good match to you, Fernando. Right, he's going to surrender right about here. So as you can see, my opponent deployed a little bit less troops than me since he had more elites. He lost 1,500 men, I only lost 1,300, and I killed 1,397. He killed 1,216, so obviously my stats are slightly better. Good match.
There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Because maybe